Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of JXD Does Serial. Today we're covering episode 3. I have my glasses on today because I need to give my eyes a little bit of rest.
Yeah.
This goes into what I've been talking about my theory about police corruption. And how, this is an era of the wire kind of situation.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. So, Sarah tells us about these two head detectives, Ritz and McGillivray.
McGillivray.
McGillivray. They were the seasoned detectives on the case. When she tried to interview them, Ritz was like, nope. And the other one was like, he did it. That's it.
Yeah, like, I don't have nothing else to say.
Yeah, most of the times in these, like, docs about cold cases or whatever, the police chief or whatever, they always want to talk. You know what I mean? Like, this is the first time where niggas was like, oh, I'm not talking to you.
I don't feel like it. They were like, it's not going to do anything. It's useless.
Right. Which leads me to again believe that y'all had something to do with it.
Many things, actually, but we'll get to them.
Right. So, they check Don, DK, and, check his alibi. The manager said he was at work at Lens Crafters.
The manager, his mother. The manager, his mother.
They don't test him for anything. Like, even
they
today,
said they went a couple of times, but they don't really they don't hit that like that.
Proves to be that honky did it. So, when they try to check Adnan's alibi about, going back to practice or whatever, the coach couldn't really remember because he didn't really take attendance.
Right.
He was like, if you're there, you're there. You're not, you're not.
Yeah, so it was in like, they couldn't use it. It was unusable evidence or whatever.
Right. Albeit this was a short episode, there was a lot of information packed into it because it transitions into a whole nother person called Mr. S. And it's so funny, 7 years later, I finally realized why she calls him Mr. S.
Why?
Well, we'll explain. So, Mr. S is the man who found the body. He a little off. I'm not diagnosing. I'm just using the black colloquialism. Off.
Yeah, a little less. He drinks. He's a drinker. And a maintenance guy.
Yeah. Right. So he was, driving on. He was in a. He was doing a work errand. He needed something for work, but he had the tool at his crib, so he went back home to pick up what he needed to, grabbed a beer, and drove back. And he happened to drive back through Lincoln Park, which we'll talk about in a second. And he had to stop and piss, drain the snake, wipe the dew off the lily, all of that. And when he went to go, handle that, that's when he found the body.
Yeah.
Asterisk.
Yes. Yeah, big asterisk, nigga.
Yeah, big asterisk. Let's talk about Lincoln Park.
So Lincoln Park, or Leakin Park, is how it is spelled, Leakin, but pronounced Lincoln Park, locally. So Leakin Park is a park that is known for bodies. It's known for having bodies. It's known for criminal activity.
The Central Park of, Baltimore County.
Yeah, but I think less nice, actually. I think Central Park might have a few more
Okay.
No, we
Just
know
because
Central
zoo
Park
don't mean there might be less bodies.
Oh, no. I'm not saying Central Park has less. What I'm saying is Central Park just has a little bit more beauty with the dead bodies. Lincoln Park is exclusively known for being a place that you don't really want to go because, as they said in the episode, you could find a body while you burying your body.
Yeah.
So.
Like, oh shit. Right. This one over here.
It's like, okay. So it's not a savory place. It's not a place that people really want to go to. So, and it wasn't really anywhere that Adnan or his friends or any of his people really frequented like that. So when Syed, actually, they interviewed Syed in the episode, and when Syed was, first of all, he didn't realize how close Lincoln Park was to where they were right now. But Syed was like, yo, we ain't never had no business over there. Like we ain't never had no reason to go over there. I ain't never heard him even like whiff nothing about going over to Lincoln Park. So
Right. Like nobody. Yeah, no, there's no like indication of like niggas are like who, what park, what do you mean?
Yeah, and I did laugh. This was not funny, but when Sarah was like, she told a guy that she was working on a story about a girl whose body was found in Lincoln Park, and the dude was like, "Oh, my uncle's body was found in Lincoln Park." Should I have laughed at that?
Not trauma bonding,
right?
Yeah. So, when he goes to take a leak, he walks a very, very far distance. According to the state, he walked 127 feet. Mm-hmm. That's really
far, nigga.
That's really far.
It's not like far, but it's too far for you to just be like pulling over to take
if you just quick. Right, unless it, no. There's plenty of other places for you to take a leak.
Yeah.
Right.
You would literally hop out, maybe open your door and turn around and whiz it. But the way that they set it up was when he walked into the park, there was a giant log. And the log, I forget how big they said the log was, but it was a big ass log. And Hayes' body was buried behind that log.
Right. And the state asks, the feds asked Mr. S, have you ever even been in that girl's car? He was like, no, what the fuck? I don't know what you're talking about. You could tell the police are getting fed up because they're trying to find a lead to something to stick, which is something you see on TV a lot. Mm-hmm. Police craft these things and hoping something sticks, not even if it's the real truth or not.
They even talk about their policing styles and their questioning styles.
Right. And so Sarah Koenig decides to take her and, her friends to go to the state attorney's office to look at the evidence. Because, evidence is always kept and logged and all that good stuff. And so it's public domain. So you can go in, as long as you have an investigative reporter, you can go and research it.
Yep.
And so they're confused as to how Mr. S discovered the body. Because they were looking at pictures and they're like, how the fuck did he find that?
Right.
They even had testimony from the city surveyor, the person responsible for mapping out, the city. He was like, I don't see it.
They asked him why he went over there. He said it's because it was an open area. And they're like, okay. And they were like, there was a fallen tree. He was like, yeah, that's where he saw her body or whatever. So they're suspicious of him just off of the strength that this nigga went so deep into the forest. They were like, okay, so were you perhaps going to look for a body that you knew was already there? Again, it's kind of grasping at straws because they don't have no evidence on this man.
Right.
This man reported the body. Most people who do this shit ain't doing that. Most, not all. Some sociopaths out there, but most people who are doing some shit like that are not doing it. They are not the ones who are going and reporting that they found the body.
They're not going to dry snitch.
Nah. Nah.
Right. So, we learned that there's evidence that was never tested that was found around the body. Like a rope.
Yep.
Which you would think, hello, test the rope if mama was, death by strangulation.
They act like they did so much with this case, but what did y'all really do?
Not a black ass thing.
Because it was a liquor bottle. It was a liquor bottle there. And then they're grasping for straws with that too, because they're trying to pin that liquor bottle on Mr. S by asking him what his preference is for drinking. And then they use him going to get a beer against him. Oh, so you went home to get a beer. So you like liquor. So you like, what do you like? And they want to see if he bites and says that it's this brandy bottle that was near her body. But he don't.
Right. So, come to find out, they actually give Mr. S a background check. And it turns out he has a couple of charges for indecent exposure. Not some, I'm running through football fields, but he's, putting on, a shirt and tie and shoes and a hat, but no pants or drawers on.
There's something's a little amiss.
Right. He got arrested by he jumped out on a highway and started doing the helicopter with his dick in front of a cop.
Yeah.
It was a lot. So
yeah.
Clearly he didn't do it because why was he in the park? Not to pee. He was streaking.
And he didn't want to tell him that.
Yeah, he didn't want to tell him that. Clearly. So I guess, this was Serial's way of, trying to, funny it up. But it was just you do have to talk about the person who found the body.
You do? I mean, it's part of the story. Yeah. So.
Right. And, he took a couple of lie detector tests. The first one he failed and the second one he passed. But that was kind of the end of the story for this episode.
Yeah, it was really more about Mr. S and how they tried to make him a suspect for a while, but it led them to a dead end. He's the one who found the body, and then from there, you all didn't do your fucking work.
Right. Exactly. Well, that was a short episode today.
I know.
Well, kids, that was this week's, this episode of Serial episode 3. Be sure to look out for 4 and 5. We'll go all the way up to 12. And I do have some notes about Undisclosed to incorporate in the next week. So
yes, absolutely. No apologies needed. We just letting y'all know we was going to get to it. We weren't going to forget it. That was all.
Because in order to forget the full story, we can't necessarily just rely on one white woman mechanic story. No.
We gotta dig a little deeper. So we're gonna incorporate. Oh, go ahead.
I will say so. On Undisclosed, because you remember they had horrible sound like we did back in the day when we first started.
Yeah.
So they went back and redid the first 3 episodes.
Oh, they did.
So with better sound. So
okay.
Yeah. So it's like they re-added stuff. Reproduced it, I guess, to license it out to Spotify, because they also do other cases.
Okay.
Because she's a lawyer, but yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice now. So go listen to Serial and also listen to Undisclosed, and we'll watch the documentary together. Yeah.
Yes. So we will see you all next week.
Bye.